Eagle Ops, this is Dagger 4 at 86752. Eagle Ops, come in! This is Sergeant Walker separated from my element. Troops in contact, taking heavy fire, need backup now! Any station that's net, please respond. I'm all alone here. Can't hold on much longer.
Stone Vet. I hit the ground running when I'm in.
What's up, guys? Sergeant G here from the Stone Vet USMC. I'm super excited to be here again with you guys. I'm back behind the microphone again, guys. I know I took a lot of time off, but like I told you guys before, there's been a lot going on in the household, dude. There's a lot going on with my marriage and everything else, dude. Like any of us that live life, we always have struggles that we deal with on a daily basis. And right now, I just happen to be during my struggle right now. So I love my community because what I tell you guys every week is that you have to build your community around you. What are you doing to ensure that the community around you can help you in a time of need like myself? And I love my community because my community, I pick up the phone and say, hey, brother, I'm hurting today. What can you give me advice on? And they give me advice. They tell me to try this, think about this, think about trying this, think about trying that. And that's what I love, man. And so like I tell you guys on a weekly basis, you have to build your community around you. You have to. And I love my community because my community is there to always support me and help me and take care of me, man. I'm super excited, man. Did you guys check out that awesome commercial at the beginning of it, man? Like I said, I teamed up with Veteran X. Veteran X is doing amazing things for the veteran community. And they decided to set up shop here in Oklahoma with me. They're about an hour and a half away from where I'm at. So I have the opportunity to be able to go up there and watch the operation function, man. I love when I can have my hands in a business, in an operation that wants me to support them. They actually let me see firsthand of what they're doing and why they're doing what they're doing. And what Veteran X is doing for our community is phenomenal, dude. You're getting out of active duty service. You need a job. You need to find a way to make money. You late on your rent. You late on a car note. You got to make a hospital bill. You need groceries. Veteran X is there to help you. And I love what they're doing. You see that little QR code up there in the commercial? Scan that QR code, make a donations. They run off simply 100% donations like anybody else. You guys are all about supporting Wounded Warriors, supporting these organizations, but when you go to ask them for help, how many times are they there to actually help you? Veteran X is always there to help. And I love what they're doing in our community, man. So get out there, donate, make it, man, hit that scan button. First of the month, just scan it. Make it a small donation, dude, because without you guys supporting them, they can't support our community. And we need your help more than ever right now, because like you guys know, they say 22 veterans take their life a day. They actually did a study with the University of Kentucky and Alabama, and they realized, no, it's more like 44 veterans take their life every day. So as I'm shooting the show right now with Michael, we have two brothers and sisters taking their life right now. And it sucks because we don't know who they are. But if they don't know about the resources that are out there like Veteran X, they're not going to get any help. And that's our job as our brothers and sisters. We are our brother and sisters keeper, dude. We are here to help you guys, man. I want to give a huge shout out to my sponsor, Rafa 180. Rafa 180 provides you the best medicinal grade CBD on the market. That's 100% THC free, guys. If you have a job and you're not allowed to consume THC, I apologize. I'm sorry. I've been there. I spent 2.5 years there. I know what that's like. It is miserable. But you got to understand how the endocannabinoid system plays in your body. Say you catch the flu, you catch a cold, you catch a fever. That's your endocannabinoid system saying you're lacking endocannabinoids. You're lacking your cannabinoids to help make you feel better. So go over to Rafa180.com. That's Romeo Alpha Papa Hotel Alpha 180.com to get all your medicinal grade CBD needs. I say medicinal grade because you know and I know there are thousands of different types of CBD out there. And if you don't know how it was processed or what's in your product, are you really even consuming CBD itself? Rafa 180 provides you all the lab reports needed. They have every lab report you need for all their products. So you know exactly what's in the product and everything else you want to know about it. I've actually had the opportunity to actually go down to the lab and actually watch them pull the oil from the plant and put it in the bottle. And like a majority of you know, CBD, in regards to the 2018 hemp bill that came out, it can have up to 0.3% THC in it, right? If you consume enough of it, you will pop on your urinalysis. I'm not lying. I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you straight up facts that you will pop on your urinalysis if you take enough of it, right? Even with the 0.3% THC that's in it. But like I tell you guys, for 2.5 years, that you guys that have been following me, you guys know I was on a drug testing position for 2.5 years, but I was still taking this product on a daily basis. And I didn't pop one time those 2.5 years that I was on probation. This is what I tell you guys. They have the best CBD product on the market. So go over to Rafa180.com, Romeo Alpha Papa Hotel Alpha 180.com to get all your medicinal grade CBD needs. When you go over there, up in the top right-hand corner, it says the Stone Vet. And guess what? You can get you some cool swag. You can get you some cool hoodies, Misunderstood Joker, right? If you guys watch the Joker, I love the Joker, dude. If you guys watch it, you guys already know he's a little bit misunderstood. Not a lot of people understand what he's doing, why he's doing what he's doing, right? So, man, I'm super excited to be here today. I was able to bring on another brother and sister who, guess what, has a passion for plant-based medicines, guys. You guys understand that the reason I do this show on a regular basis is why? Because I want to help get you guys off the pharmaceuticals that the VA continues pounding down our throats every day, right? Everybody knows 22 veterans take their life every day, right? To suicide due to the fact that life's just too hard and they don't want to do it anymore. They want the easy way out. But nobody ever talks about the 35 veterans who take their life every day due to opioid overdose, right? I don't know about you guys, but I remember when I got out in 2009, they gave me some muscle relaxers, and I was popping those things like M&Ms every hour on the hour. Why? Because I liked the way they made me feel. They made me feel good. They made me feel this. They made me feel that, and I loved it. But after a couple of weeks of doing that, I was like, I have got to get off of these pills because it's gonna be bad. I got kids, dude. I can't be high as hell like that on pills, you know. And so this is one of the things. This is my passion about doing this podcast, right, guys? Is to be able to help educate you guys on plant-based medicines, help have an understanding of how plant-based medicines work, right? And the thing is that a lot of you guys are already consuming these terpenes that are in this plant on a daily basis, man. I'm super excited today, though. I got to bring on a brother in arms, dude, that has the same passion I have about plant-based medicine. Granted, he was in the Air Force. We all know how the Chair Force is. We all know how lazy they are and how they don't do anything. You know, but I love my brothers in arms, dude. I don't care what branch they in. They signed that dotted line that we all signed and said, I will defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And that's what we have to remember, right? We can give as veterans, we can give each other freaking a hard time, right? But nobody else better come up here and try to give our brothers or sisters a hard time because it's only us that can do that, right? And me being the big brother, you know how it's gonna be, man. What's going on, Michael? How you doing today?
What's up, man? So here's a joke. Another little thing. I actually got to choose my branch of service.
You made a good choice, though, man. You made a good choice. I mean, you don't want to be all jacked up and as crazy as majority does. But I'm sure with your time in that you still deployed to that beautiful desert that everybody's been to, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so, like you guys know, the difference between his deployment and my deployment, he was probably sleeping in a nice can while I was sleeping out in the sand. But I mean, that's besides the point. Man, so I got Michael here. Michael here said he did some time in the Air Force. He did a stint during the same time I was in. He was in from 01 to 07 is what he was telling me. And I was in from 01 to 09. So we were in during the same time. We were fighting the same damn war. He was there during the invasion as well. He saw the Twin Towers go down while he was in freaking, you're probably in your MOS school, huh, at that time?
Yeah, I was I was actually in we call it tech school.
Tech school. He was in tech school. I was in
Wichita Falls, Texas. We had it, believe it or not. So it was combined with Navy and Army. And Navy would come in just like it was a class. Army got marched in with their drill instructor, and it's like, there's two of you, really? But like, and then they were honestly the dumbest people in the class.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. So like he's like, hey, the Twin Towers just fell, and we thought he was joking around because he joked all around like that all the time.
Right.
Then he brought in the TV, and then that's when we saw the second plane hit the second tower.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. I know. For me, I was in Okinawa at the time when the towers went down. I just got to Okinawa, a brand new, fresh PFC E1, E2 out of boot camp. You know.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. And I think we were in the middle of a typhoon. I want to say that's why we were all at the barracks at that day. And I was like, damn, what movie you guys watching? This looks good. They're like, that's the fucking Twin Towers in New York City right now. I said, no way, dude. They're like, yeah. I was like, yeah, dude, you got to be kidding me. And so
Yeah.
for us, luckily for us at Okinawa, we weren't deploying to the sandbox at that time, but we went in a massive overhaul rebuilding generators. We're staying up 15 to 18
Mhm.
hours a day, just remodifying generators, getting them ready for deployment. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I was there for a year and 6, 8 months out of the year. I was working about 15, 18 hours a day, just completely tearing generators apart, putting brand new motors in it, brand new generators in it, and getting them ready for deployment. And it was insane. But I mean, that was probably my best year in the Marine Corps was in Okinawa. I ain't gonna lie. I had an amazing time in Okinawa.
Yeah.
And
That's
so for Michael here, he joined the Air Force. Why don't you give the audience a little bit of background about yourself, a little bit of your childhood, and then why
um
you decided to join the Air Force.
I always wanted to join the Air Force. Since I was 7. I don't know why. It just appealed to me more. I wanted to go in as a SEER instructor, which is survival, evasion, and rescue. I couldn't pass the pass test, and it was too brutal. But the swim alone is up and back of Olympic-sized pool 20 times within 15 minutes, and then you got to get out and do a mile and a half run in 11 minutes. And I'm like, at that point, I can barely even get out of the pool. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like, yeah. We came back from that test. Our drill instructor was like, "How's PT now?" Yeah. So anyway, I was born in New Jersey. Moved to PA when I was about 14 with my parents. Childhood was rough growing up. My mom's actually my abuser. My mom's a narcissist. So I am now no contact with her. And honestly, more of the reason why I do plant-based medicine is with her than the military, because hers is more of a uh, prolonged period of time. You know what I mean?
No, and I
The
completely
military's
understand that,
in there
right?
as well. The military's in there as well too.
Yeah.
So it
No,
doesn't
and no, I
obviously
mean that's
help.
one of the things. That's one of the things
Yeah.
I'm going through right now, right? That's one of the things I'm dealing with right now. I'm almost 40 years old, and I'm just like, huh, okay. I was abused as a kid.
Yeah.
Never
Dude.
even knew it, right? Like I never thought about it. Like you never
Yeah.
sit there and think about it. That's what I try to tell people. Like we're adults. We've gone through trauma, regardless you serve in the military or just
Yep.
growing up, right? I mean, and go figure, it starts attacking you when you start getting older. You're just like, holy shit, what is wrong with me, right? And
Yeah.
like you said, your mom was a narcissist growing up.
I mean, well, still is, and it's like, so, and it's like that. Your mom is not supposed to be your abuser
Right.
usually. So she was like, she had issues growing up that she didn't deal with. So
Right.
that's how her body dealt with that trauma. My brother was the favorite. I was always in his shadow, and it was weird. It's funny because my brother is stupid. He has the IQ of 70, dude. He's stupid. Um, my brother got kicked out of the army for doing ecstasy because he knew he had a drug test and still did ecstasy. Like, you see what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. I see what you mean. Good.
So yeah, dude. The Air Force was the easiest way, another way to run away.
Yeah, I mean, not exactly. That's what I tell people. So I joined the Marine Corps at 17, right?
Okay.
That's what I tell people. I said the Marine Corps is my mama and my daddy. I was a kid when I joined the Marine Corps, right? My brain wasn't even fully done being developed yet.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I try to tell people, right? People, especially you guys listening in. You guys are veterans. You guys know, right? I may have some civilians listening in, but for the veteran community, one of the biggest things that people don't understand is that when you go to boot camp, dude, like Marine Corps boot camp, 13 weeks long. It's the longest boot camp there is. The first thing they do is they go in there and they sever that emotional tie, right? So you don't have any emotions. They sever it because what do they say? You become emotionally connected, you're gonna die. You're either gonna kill yourself or you're gonna kill your brother or your sister if you become emotionally connected, right? So they sever that emotional tie. But depending on how long you do 4 years, 6 years, 14 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever. There is no mechanism there to solder that emotional tie back, right? So you get active duty service, you don't know how to be emotionally connected to anything or anybody. You know, why do you think our relationships suffer?
Yep.
Why do you think it sucks? We suck at being friends. We suck at being having friendships. We suck at being good husbands, good boyfriends, good girlfriends, good fathers. We suck at it because we don't know how to freaking be emotional anymore.
Mhm.
And that's one of the biggest things that we're trying to get an understanding with. And one of the things is that plant-based medicine helps with that, right? Because
Mhm.
there's going to be a time where you're just like, I have got to fix myself. I cannot continue doing this, right? I cannot continue doing what I'm doing because all it's doing is causing damage to those that do love me, that do want to take time to be with me, right? And so, like you, Michael, I mean, going through that trauma as a kid, you're like, I got to get out. I got to get out, right? I got to get out of here. I can't do this anymore, right?
Yeah. Yep. Like, so in the Air Force, you get they call it a dream sheet in basic, anywhere you want to go.
Oh, wow.
It
You get one of those? You get one of those in basic and boot camp? Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know what they tell us? East Coast, West Coast, or overseas? Okinawa, California, or North Carolina. That's it. That's all you get.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why people join the Air Force is to travel. So they don't really, I don't know if there is any say in it, but it's just, I don't know if it's a novelty or not. But like, if you looked at mine, it was all overseas bases, Bengalem, Ramstein.
Oh, wow.
I don't think there was a Conan's base anywhere within, I think I was within 2,000 miles of my home.
Right.
So everyone's like, why did you join? And I got an argument. Like, when I remember this when I left. She's like, you just joined this to get away from your family. I'm like, you're damn right I am, to get as far away from you as possible.
Right.
Again, that's like, and then the problem is now too, and I want to bring this to, like, the difference with, like, and I think this goes with veterans too, there's a difference between mental awareness and mental illness. Mental awareness is the yoga, the rainbows. Mental illness is the dark part about it that people aren't ready to hear.
Right.
It always makes them, like, and I think like if veterans open up to a civilian and they say, hey, this is what happened, they either one, freak them out and then they get awkward, or they just don't know how to handle it and they lie to the vet, and then that even makes it even worse.
Right.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, man. And that's one of the biggest things that I think for our community, right? We don't like talking to people that we don't feel like we can trust, right? A lot of us cannot talk to, like, it's hard to find a good therapist, right? I got a good therapist now. It's taken me about 2 years, but I've actually found a good therapist now that actually sits down and talks with me. And he's a civilian. So he's like, let's figure this out. Let's get this going, right? He's like, his best interest is me, right? It's not him.
Yeah.
Right. And so what a lot of people don't, like us as veterans, dude, like if we go to the VA and we try to get a therapist, we'll get a therapist. Guess what? They'll move on. They'll get a better paying job. They'll retire, or they'll move on. And guess what? You got to go to a new therapist. And now you got to open up all over again and relive everything you just went through. Right. And you're like, what is the purpose of this shit? That's why I decided to get a civilian therapist, that this is their career. They're not going anywhere. They're not going to get paid anymore. They're not going to go anywhere. And if they do go somewhere, I can go with them wherever they're going. Right. Versus somebody who works for the government that gets a promotion. They're no longer in therapy. They're doing something completely different now, or whatever the case may be. So that's why I recommend finding a therapist out in town that will help. And apparently the VA will help you, but they only have a certain insurance and only certain providers and data. You still have to go through all the fine lines and the freaking blue tape and all that shit, because they seriously don't want to help you guys, right? They don't want to help us. They're going to do everything they can to stop helping us. Like, seriously, why do you think our numbers are so high in suicides? Why do you think we're so chaotic, right? They tell us we're chaotic, or we nobody can deal with this, or nobody. There's a reason why, guys. But this is one of the things that you have got to seek help, right? If you're hurting, don't be ashamed of it, right? It's okay not to be okay. I deal with this stuff on a regular basis, daily basis, dude. It's a battle every day with the mental health, dude. Every day. That's why I'm glad I teamed up with Brittany over at White Rabbit Collective. I teamed up with Trey Gee. He's an Army Ranger that he has a cannabis company. He has 2 cannabis companies here in Oklahoma. I've teamed up with him. He's doing meditations with me. I teamed up with Eric Castillo with the Warrior Mindset. He's over there. He's telling me about energy and this and that and stuff. Like, I believed it worked. I believe in this stuff. I believe in meditation. I believe in breathworks. I just had never done it before. Now that I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, Now I have a better understanding about it, right? Now I know more about it. And I always recommend at least once a month doing a really good meditation or a really good breath works once a month. And that's what I'm doing for myself. Once a month, I'm doing it because life is hard, Michael. You know it.
Yeah.
Life is hard, right? Am I going to be
Yeah.
able to pay rent? Am I going to be able to make the car note? Am I going to be able to have food on the table tonight for dinner? Am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to do? Life is hard. We live this life every day, and it's a
I've been
struggle,
there.
man. So for you, you spent what 6 years in the Air Force, right?
Mhm.
About 6 years.
Yep, 6 years. Got out in '07. Went back home to PA. My mother.
Came back to be with your mom.
Yeah, and I didn't really have anywhere else to go. I still
Right,
really wasn't identifying her as an abuser at that point.
right.
So I went home. About a year, no, not even a year later, I had my son. My son was born in 2007. He turned in December. He just turned 15.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
I did. My boy just turned 20 on the 19th. So
Man, I get old. Um, but yeah, I didn't really use the VA getting out. My grandfather had a lot of bad luck with it. He was a World War II vet,
Mhm.
Army medic, bounced around with Marines in the South Pacific. Uh, and it's funny. I was like, well, what do you mean he was in the Army with the? I'm like, first of all, there was Army medics with the Marines in the South Pacific because they didn't have enough,
Right.
and the Army was in the South Pacific. So, and then yeah, he had all kinds of PTSD issues. I mean, it got to the point when he got dementia, he was describing a lot of different Japanese faces,
Oh wow.
and I'm like, there's only one way he knows that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He described like they would set up camp. They didn't have sentries. They didn't set up any kind of alarms. They would sneak into their tents, cut off three of his friends' heads. He woke up to that.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then they're just like dumping pills down his throat. And I'm
Right.
like looking at him in comatose. So I'm like, you're not even treating him. You're just making him so he just is in a coma.
Right. Exactly. He's awake, but he's just not there. He's just, you
Yeah.
know.
So I was, believe it or not, I was misdiagnosed for a while with bipolar.
Oh, okay.
I was diagnosed with anxiety. My body developed a tolerance. My drug was Xanax. Um, and it got to the point I was up to in about 2009, 2010, around a little after that, I was up to about 30 milligrams of Xanax a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these guys listening in on the show,
Yeah.
you can only imagine. Like I tell the civilians I work with, I say, you guys don't understand the struggle of being a veteran, right? We got to try to live a normal life and try to figure out how to hang out with you guys and how to communicate and associate with you guys, right? But you can go talk to any veteran. They're taking what between 30 to 50 pills a day to live a somewhat normal life, right?
Yep.
That's every day. 30 to 50
Yep.
pills a day, right?
I turned in bags of pills.
Yeah. And like yourself, you're what, 30 milligrams, you said, of Xanax every day?
That's over a lethal dosage of Xanax a day.
Yeah.
And I was doing that for 3 years.
3 years, right? And guess what? The VA was saying, hey, take this.
Yeah, and until
Take
I saw a doctor who really gave a shit. She's, I want to say, like, not homeopathic, but osteopathic or something, where it's more of a whole body person. Like they look at.
Right.
So she will only, if I have mental illness medication, she won't really touch them. I'll give me a new one. She'll like dose them a little bit. She's like, look, you're getting off the Xanax. I don't care if you smoke pot illegally at this point. And then medical marijuana became a thing.
Right.
But you're going to kill yourself at this point. Like, that's ridiculous. And she's like, the problem is now, if you just say, I'm done with them, you stop, you're going to have a cardiac arrest.
Damn.
Like benzos will kill you if you stop them suddenly. That's how bad that drug is. And you win. All right. So, I got diagnosed with, she gave me anxiety. She gave me Prozac. Fast forward a couple of years after that, this is getting to 2020 now. They increased my Prozac, causing me to go suicidal.
Shit.
I went manic and I didn't even know it. I was standing off of the overpass to a highway. Talked myself out of it. I don't know how the hell I did that. Walked to Dunkin' Donuts, drinking coffee. Like 20 minutes later, like everything was normal.
Like everything was okay. Like everything was fine, right? And that's all.
Yeah, and I'm like, I got to go to the hospital. Someone called the cops on me, and all of a sudden it went from 1 cop to 8 cops around me. And then I'm like, and he's like, well, you're a vet. I'm like, yeah, you're making me really fucking hostile right now. Sorry,
Right.
but like, yeah, I'm like, I had to talk them out of like tasing me. I'm like, look, dude, when I was in Germany, we used to tase each other for shits and giggles when we were drunk.
Right.
So if you tase me, I'm just going to pull the leads out, and it's going to create a whole new set of problems.
Right.
I just want to go to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like asking to go to the hospital, and it was because I had a domestics bench warrant. They wanted to put me in jail for money. Yeah.
That's the way, and that's the way it is, brother. That's what I hate so much, is that a lot of people don't understand us and understand our mindsets. Like my wife's the same way. She's like, you're telling me you can go and do this stuff and then come back like, did it even happen? I mean, that's the mindset we have. Why? Because we were trained to think that way, right? I said, you do first and you ask questions later.
It's not that big of a deal to you because you're looking at the bigger picture of it. So you're looking at to your mind, you're just a little cog in the wheel.
Right. Exactly.
You know, like you idolize these officers, and you know your superior officers, your NCOs, and then if you get a bad one, well, then it just really sucks for you.
Right. No, right. Absolutely, dude. And that's one of the biggest things, right? That's one of the biggest struggles. So I mean, you, like you said, when you got out, you were dealing with a lot of crap, dude. You're trying to figure out, how do I live this normal life, right? How do I go back? How do I get a job? How do I talk to other people? How do I be a civilian? Right.
I mean, the Air Force was easy.
Well, yeah. I mean, for you guys,
if you're good at your job, you're going to go far.
Oh, are you?
I was good at being a plumber.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I had no issue getting dirty, believe it or not. Yeah, you would get the people that go in general mechanical, and then this kid is a plumber, and he's like, I don't like getting dirty. And I'm like, well, you're in the wrong career field, dude. Like,
right.
I don't like getting, and then all of a sudden you get my NCO is like, he would just push him into like the basement full of shit water. He's like, he got dirty. Oh, well. Yeah.
Right.
And like when I was in, it was still a party mentality, a party atmosphere. So, and then you throw a 19-year-old kid in Germany, what do you think they're gonna do?
Right. Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Trust me. Trust me. I was 18 in Okinawa. Trust me. I know exactly what you're gonna do. Right. I know what you're gonna do.
Alcohol into that with the mental illnesses and stuff. So
no, right, and that's what a majority of us, right? A majority of us veterans, we have mental illness. We know it. We suffer from so many different things, right? Regardless if you, like I tell people, I say you don't have to go to war to have PTSD. Going to boot camp alone is PTSD. Why? Yeah. Because they break you down and they build you up to be exactly what they want you to be.
Maybe not the Air Force.
but you know what I'm saying, though, right? You're extremely uncomfortable and you're doing stuff that you were like, fuck, why did I decide to do this, right? Yeah. And so after you got out of service, right, you just said you were taking you're taking Prozac, you were taking the Prozac made you freaking suicidal.
Yeah, so I went into in all this I was doing cannabis, right? I got into cannabis I've always been smoking. I smoked weed with my best friend. We always had that one friend that always had it.
Yeah.
And they would always, so I kind of got serious about it, found a dealer in about like 2012 to 2014. Right. And then I was on all the different medications. So I really needed to I went to a inpatient facility for mental health. Right. And they did a reset on all my medication. He's like, look, you're on Prozac and you're on, what the hell else was I on? Effexor. He's like, they're the same kind of medications. That's ridiculous. You're taking two at the same time. He's like, no. I was like, he asked me, he's like, you're manic. You need Seroquel. They introduced me to I got a little dosage of that. So now I'm on about 150 milligrams of Seroquel a day, which I need. I needed to sleep. It's one of those things that I just needed to live.
Right.
Sanely. But I still feel alive with the cannabis. I smoke the weed. I do dabs. And my tolerance probably, my high is not what you would think. It's like 10, 15, 20 minutes. So that's not even any, but it's more medicine to me. So when you would take it out, I get a withdrawal from it. So cannabis really helped with the anxiety. It takes away the edge of the bipolar. It kind of brings balance to the mania.
Right.
And then I also I got into mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing them about once a week. I don't doing them during the week because I have stuff to do.
Right? No, absolutely right. And I
Yeah.
mean,
So, but that kind of helped break. With being bipolar, you latch on to negative thoughts,
right.
and it destroys your day. Like, you'd be like, "Oh, to hell with this person," and they would ruin your entire day. But that doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
With the mushrooms, it kind of broke that, where I can deal with the negativity and then move on from it.
And that's what's great about mushrooms, right? A lot of people don't understand, but the studies that have came out showing what mushrooms can do for the brain.
Yeah,
it rewires the brain, right? A lot of people don't understand this, but if you think about it, if you think about it like this, if you have a muscle spasm in your back, right, it's because your muscles are all intertwined, and guess what? They knot up, right? They knot up, and you're just like, it hurts, right? And what do? You go to a therapist, you get a massage, you go to a chiropractor, he adjusts your bones so that the muscle will release, right? In our brains, we have that same. Our nerve endings are all bundled together, and they're just fighting. We're fighting ourselves, right? With mental health, right? With stress, with depression, with everything. We just bam, bam, bam. Our nerves just keep going and bouncing off each other. But if you start using mushrooms on a daily basis, those nerves end up working their ways out, and everything starts flowing smoothly together, right? Everything starts flowing smoothly together. And what it shows is that it actually puts those nerve endings back together. So now they're not bumping into each other, fighting each other. They're actually flowing all together. It's flowing in. And you, Michael, saying that you're using mushrooms on a regular, at least on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Are you seeing improvement with mental health when using them?
Oh, huge improvement. Huge. It's helped me with going through a breakup, because at the same time I was still talking to this woman, trying to like, I still want a relationship. I don't care what happens. Like,
right.
Oh, I still want a friendship or whatever. And at this point, like, we don't really talk at this point anymore, because it would go from like, I want to be with you to not talking to me at all.
Right.
So I'm like, we're not. But this kind of helped with the depression with that too. Like, the biggest advice I got was, when you take mushrooms, you really need to treat it like a drug. You need to weigh it out and dose it, because they all look the same weight amounts look different. You know what I mean?
Right.
And everyone has that. Oh, I had a bad trip. That's not really such a thing, I don't think. It's just you're introducing the drug
journey, right? No, so and yeah, absolutely. No, I completely agree, because I said the same thing. I said I was talking with Brittany and stuff, and I said I had a bad trip. They're like, it wasn't a bad trip. It was a bad journey. You got to think about, because that's what it does. It enhances your thoughts.
Yep.
It allows you to go through your thoughts, and then allows you to work through, like, how did I fuck this up? What could I have done different? What could I have done better? And like you said, it's not a bad trip. It's just a bad journey, right? I recently just took, because I stopped taking mushrooms. I had 2 bad journeys. I was like, this sucks, dude. I don't want to live that again, right?
Yeah.
But that's how you get through it.
Exactly.
That's how you get through the trauma that you're enduring. Your mind is telling you, you have to get through this. And when those thoughts pop up, you're like, what can I do to get through this?
We would like to give a huge thanks to Rafa 180. Rafa 180 offers pure medicinal CBD and products made locally. They walk alongside individuals to achieve a healthy lifestyle with options needed by each person. You can learn more about them on Facebook at Rafa CBD, their website www.rafa180.com, or email at rafacbd@gmail.com. They truly believe your journey matters.
And you've been using it on a weekly basis, and you're like, this is helping.
Yeah.
This is helping with my mental health, right?
I mean, I don't take enough, so I also understand, like, some are stronger than others, but
of course,
I don't take enough to where I fully lose thought of reality. Right. You know what I mean? I start to take enough to where I'll see some visuals, but I'm still coherent enough.
Right. Right. No, absolutely. But I know when I first started taking mushrooms, dude, for me, I'd have to take like between 7 to 10 grams just to get any benefit out of it. And everybody's like, oh crap, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot, right? It's a lot, right? But now that I've been taking it, 1 to 2 grams, I'm like, okay, I'm good. I can do 2 grams and I'm good. I feel good. Like I feel it. Like I can feel it. I can feel it work doing what it's supposed to be doing. Like there's something that comes over me that I'm like, it's calming. And it's like, breathe, so I'm not getting the visuals. Like some people want you want visuals, you got to take a lot, but you don't want no visuals and stuff like that. Microdosing, right? You use it to microdose.
It also depends on which ones you're taking. Like I have blue meanies. If you take it 2 grams, you're going to see some things.
Yeah.
Now I have some other ones that if you take 3 grams of, you're going to get a body high. The blue meanies are a little bit different than like the saying is a cube is a cube.
Mhm.
The blue meanies is more of like a copolandia, I think it's called.
Oh yeah.
So it's like a cube, a little bit different, but I use them in the tea to cut down on the nausea. Like I put them in a
Right.
tea ball, which completely eliminates it. That's another thing people get an issue with is the nausea. So I steep them.
Mm-hmm.
They work really well into a hot chocolate into a tea.
No, absolutely. And a lot of people, like for me, I got to encapsulate them. Like me, like I used to eat them, and I was
Mhm.
good. And then that one day, I was just like, ooh, ooh. I was like, I can't eat these no more. Like I can't eat these more. So I encapsulate them, and I put them in. I get these are huge pills though. These are, like I said, these are 1 gram pills, so they're huge.
Okay.
Horse pills, you know. What I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So I'll take those. It's easier for me to take those and then let them digest in my system, right? Like that versus just eating them. But this is one of the things, guys, that I tell you guys on a daily basis, right? What are you doing, right? You got to get off the alcohol. We all know we are all alcoholics. As a veteran, we're alcoholics, dude. We love alcohol, right? Why? Because it's accessible. We can get it anywhere. We can go to the bar. We can get it. We can go to the gas station. We can get it. We can go anywhere and get alcohol, right? It's accessible, right? And so that's what I'm trying to do is fight for federal legalization of cannabis. All right. Because if you guys don't understand how cannabis works or you're too scared to try it, you've got to sit down and see the science behind it. The science behind mushrooms, DMT, freaking cannabis. Like if you guys can look and see, like studies have been done. If you go to Israel, you can find studies on cannabis and the medicinal benefits that cannabis provides for the individual that's consuming it, that are using cannabis. Mushrooms, there's studies that have been done here in America on how the medicinal benefits of how mushrooms help recalibrate the mind, right? Because we deal with a lot of mental health, dude. It sucks, right? I said it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away, but what it does, it helps you to understand it and how to treat it, right? And for Michael here, he's telling you straight up, dude. He said it's been helping a lot.
Yeah.
It's been helping a lot, And that's my biggest thing, is just trying to tell you guys, to help you guys understanding and breaking the stigma on plant-based medicine. Plant-based medicine has been around for thousands of years, guys.
Mm-hmm.
If you catch my episodes on Wednesdays, I'm breaking down the terpenes. I think we're on week 13 or so, right? If you guys understood the terpene profile, right? Like I tell you guys, all cannabis plants smell different. Why? Because that's a terpene profile that the plant has. Roses smell different, dandelions, lilacs, lilies, everything has its own smell. Why? Because that's the terpene profile of that plant. Cannabis is the same way. It has different terpenes, so it smells differently. But that's why I broke down my episodes on Wednesday to tell you guys, these terpenes you're already consuming when you eat food. Black pepper, rosemary, sage, thyme, all this stuff we're consuming, right? Or if you have a significant other, I bet you they got essential oils going off in your room probably on a daily basis. That smell you're smelling, those are terpene profiles off that plant. If they put lavender in there, it's from the lavender plant. It's the oil from the lavender plant. They put it in the water, and guess what? Now it's being diffused in your room. Why? Because it's a calming agent. That terpene is a calming agent. Lavender is a calming agent, right? And so for you guys to have an understanding, like Michael's saying here, Blue Meanie is a whole different strain compared to A plus. You know what I'm saying? They all have medicinal benefits. And that's one thing we have to do, is understand what kind of medicinal benefits does this have. Why do I tell you guys, when you guys are consuming cannabis, to journal it so you have a better understanding as to, oh, this has this. I like how that terpene made me feel. I got to smoke more strains with that terpene in it because it made me feel good. Oh, this one had this terpene in it. It made me angry. I was upset, irritable. Don't smoke anything with that terpene in it. The same thing with mushrooms, right? What do I want to feel? Do I want the head high? Do I want the body high? Do I want visuals? Do I want this? Do I want that? What strain does that? What are the benefits, right? What are the medicinal benefits, right? It's like my wife says, she's like, you smoke weed to get high. No, I smoke weed to feel good. Being high is just the perk of the plant. That's just the perk that I get to endure, that I get to enjoy, right? And so for you, when you got out of the Air Force, how long was it once you got out of the Air Force that you started using plant medicine?
About 5 years.
5 years after you got out?
Yeah, about 5 years.
How long ago did they legalize it for medicinal uses there?
2016, but you didn't see any dispensaries till about 2018. But honestly, PA's law isn't good. Because it just it basically allows you to buy weed legally. There's no job protections.
Really?
There's no DUI protections. It's still zero tolerance at DUI.
Really?
State. Yeah. You can get fired. I've been fired for medical marijuana.
No way.
Yeah. I worked for a conveyor company. I got in a little fender bender with the forklift. It wasn't that big of a deal, but everyone kind of knew I had my card. So there were people in my boss's ear, you should get them tested.
No way.
So once that happened, he's like, well, you can either resign or we could fire you. But if you resign, you can get rehired in a year, because they had federal contracts that they went out of state.
Because they're federally employed by the government.
They traveled from like PA to other states to do conveyor work.
Okay.
So, but there's no job protections. And honestly, like, you can't even smoke flower. Like right now, this is illegal. You can only vape it. Yeah, you can only vape it.
This is the shit I'm talking about, guys. This is the shit I'm talking about, right? But people hate us in Oklahoma, right? People are like, you're a rec state with rules. I'm like, technically, I guess you could say that, right? Like,
but
we have the most processes, we have the most growers, we probably have the most dispensaries in the country right now. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? I talked to a buddy of mine, Matty. I got a buddy in Illinois. His name's Matt. He said the closest dispensary to him is like an hour and a half away. He says like a 3-hour drive to go there, pick up product, and drive home. I was like, are you kidding me? I got one that's 5 minutes away. If I step outside, I throw a rock, I hit another one across the street. And if I stand at that one and throw another rock, I can throw it at a diagonal and hit another store right down the street, literally like 5 minutes away. He's like, that is insane, dude. Like the benefits of being able. I said, what's great, right? So we legalized cannabis here in 2018 as a medicinal state. We legalized it, right? In 2018. Right now in this March, we're going to be putting on a ballot for rec. And I was like, and everybody's kind of against it because like we don't need to go rec. We need to fix the medicinal side first before we decide to go rec. We need to make sure that this shit is established on the medicinal side, right? That's I completely agree. I understand. I'm going to vote yes for rec, but I completely understand because my biggest thing is that the Senate is not going to vote to legalize cannabis. We are there, right? It's already passed. That year went, and then now it's off the ballot. There's no longer going to be talked about, right? They're going to have to redo it all, have to go back to the House, get voted on again for the third time to see if it even gets through, right? But my understanding is that if 25 states or more are recreational, then you can go talk to your governor and have him start talking to the other governors that have it legalized recreationally, and they can overthrow the Senate and say, we're going to legalize it across the nation legally, right? Which is what we need, right? Especially for those of us that have federal employment jobs that are just like, I can't smoke it because it's federally legal, but I'm a resident of this state. I'm a resident of the state where it is legal. I'm just doing a service for the government. I'm helping the government out by providing a service to them. But you're telling me you're going to hold my hands in the fire because it's still federally illegal when 37 states have it legalized in their state? 37 out of 50 states have it legalized. Are you kidding me? But we're going to play that game, you know?
PA is one of the only states in my area that is not rec.
Yeah.
I think it's the only. Maryland is the other one, but New York went rec. New Jersey, Massachusetts is rec. Connecticut's going to go rec. And actually, funny story, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Oklahoma are all trying to legalize mushrooms, but Oklahoma is legalizing it for the study of it only, and Connecticut and Massachusetts.
That's exactly what we were doing, and all my senators up here decided to turn it down. They turned the bill down, so now we have to wait until 2024 to put it on the ballot again. And I was like, "You sorry SOBs, dude." I said, "You sorry SOBs." Like we were doing it for the purpose of studies, medicinal studies. Nothing was going to be sold. Nothing was going to be in a dispensary. It was going to be strictly for the universities to go and do research study on it. That's all the intent.
Yep.
But they didn't like that. And I was like, why? Because you're not going to make any money off of it. That's exactly why you voted no against it, because you couldn't find a way that you could make money off of this. It's politics. It's all politics, you know? And it sucks that it's to that point. But in order to get something done, you have to play that game, right? You have to play the game. And like Michael's saying, they're in Pennsylvania. So you can't even have flour in Pennsylvania?
You can buy flour. You can't if you're caught smoking it. Like if you have a blunt, a bowl, or a bong on you, and a woman actually got caught with a bowl on her. I don't know. Look, unless you're going to and from the dispensary, don't drive with weed because you're just giving the police a reason to give you a hard time.
So you can't even have so you can't even
but you can't even have flour if it's combustible. If it's in a bowl or a blunt and you get caught with that, that's one, paraphernalia, and two, that is a weed charge that you're not protected by the card anymore.
How?
Because they only have flour for the sole purpose of vaporization, and then like another gentleman I was talking to you about, he presses his own flour.
Yeah.
PA's flour is pretty much so dried out, it's meant to be vaporized. So when you try to grind it, it just turns to powder.
Shut up.
Yeah, dude. It's this is the problem when you have Republican politicians or old, any kind of politicians in the PA state. PA's always had PA. Right now we have a Republican Senate and a Democratic governor.
Really?
So they fight on everything. Yeah, it's
so this is one of the things, guys. This is one of the things I tell you about, right? You've got to get to your capital. You got to go talk to your senators. You got to talk to your House of Representatives. You got to talk to your governor. If you get enough people together and you start knocking on the door and say, we got to fix these rules, we got to fix these regulations because this is absolutely absurd, right? We have got to fix this. Like, if you cannot have medicine, this is medical freedom, guys. This is what medical freedom looks like. Who is to tell you you can't go to that doctor because whatever? He's not provided into your insurance. You're not. If this is why people hate Oklahoma, right? I go to the Capitol. I talk to my senators. I talk to my representatives. I don't like how this is going. What do we need to do to fix this? And if you don't want to listen to me, I'll gather another 115 plus veterans and we'll come in there and we'll sit down and talk because we got to figure out what is taking so long. Why is this not working? Why are we so behind on this, or why are we so behind on that? Right. And like you said, in Pennsylvania, you can't even have flour.
No, well, you can have flour, but it's only under certain restrictions. So it's like your lawmaker is basically in your honeypot.
Right. Exactly. Right. And you can't go to a dispensary and buy good flour, good medicine. The VA is not going to provide it for you.
Well, like I said, you can buy the flour in PA, good flour, but only vaporize it. But no one does. It's just one of those things that nobody does because it's like at this point, you know what? Then arrest me for the blunt. Fuck it.
Right. And like for us here in Oklahoma, we are able to obtain up to 28 grams of concentrate. We can carry 28 grams of concentrate on us on any given day.
No,
28 grams of concentrate.
I think it's 4. And then after that, if you have 28 grams of concentrate on you, you're going to catch a felony in the PA.
No way.
Probably, yes. You will catch a felony for a large amount of distribution.
I can carry up to 8 ounces on me in my car. If I get pulled over, I pull out my cannabis card and say, here you go.
And this is why
you have it in your car? I don't know. And that's what I tell people. I said, like in my state, so I have my concealed carry card, I have my cannabis card, I have my VA card. So when I get pulled over, I pull out all my cards and say, here. And I bullshit with the cop. Like, I love cops, dude. Don't get me wrong. I love cops. There's crooked cops out there. Don't get me wrong. There's crooked cops out there. Like anything else, there's crooked people everywhere. No matter what you do, there's crooked people, right?
Definitely.
But I have a conversation with the cop, dude. I said, I understand how hard your job is. And I appreciate you coming out here doing this every single day because your job sucks, dude. Your job sucks. People are going to give you shit all day long because of your job. I said, but here are my cards. And they'll ask me, do you have any of this in your car? I said, I don't know. My wife drives my car as well. I may have weed. I may have a gun, and they may be sitting right next to each other in my glove box. But I'm letting you know I am legal as a resident of Oklahoma. I am legal to have all this stuff because I went through and I followed your rules and regulations and ensured that I carried my license with me so you guys can see that I am legal within your state. Right. And so we bullshit. We talk. They're like, all right, man. Just slow down. Just slow down. I appreciate you not running from me. I appreciate you talking with me. And I said, yeah, I said, just make sure you're getting your mental health. Make sure you're going to your counselor on a weekly basis because you're going to need it with this job, with everything that's going on in our country right now. You're going to need it, dude. Like it's ridiculous. But to hear, and it makes me sad to hear stuff like that in Pennsylvania. Like
that would be a felony if you had a gun and a weed in your car.
Yeah, it's a felony. And you're just like, are you kidding me? Like,
yeah, Pennsylvania is just this is why one of the reasons why I want to move out of Pennsylvania.
No, absolutely. And this is one of the things I tell you guys, right? So if the VA prescribes you a medication, say you have high blood pressure and you got blood pressure medication, right? When you travel, you're able to take your blood pressure medicine because if you don't take your blood pressure medicine, it's going to screw you up. Whether you go to
Yep.
Florida, you go to Pennsylvania, you go to Maine, you go to New York, you go to Oregon. But if I take a blunt with me to treat my anxiety and my depression, I go to Pennsylvania, I'm gonna go to fucking jail because I got a blunt on me. It's my medicine though,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
It's my medicine. This is my
Yeah.
medicine. I pay for my medicine. And you're telling me that because you don't agree with my medicine, you're gonna throw me in jail because you don't agree with my medicine. You know? And this is one of the things that I'm fighting for is to be able to allow us to be able to take our medicine across state lines so that we can treat our ailments that we suffer from on a daily basis. Right?
Think about
Like you
think
said,
about this.
you smoke
Um,
flower, you're like, I stay high for a little bit, but I don't stay high forever. But you're able to treat that little, you feel good for a little bit because you're like, oh, I can breathe now and not stress about what just happened.
Yep.
You know?
So, like we were talking about alcohol and the stigma, like I don't drink anymore because it reacts with mood stabilizers. But so if you treat alcohol the same way as weed, it's think about this. When you get caught with empty beer bottles in your car, you don't get charged with paraphernalia. You should though. You know what I mean?
Right, you should. It's an open container.
Yeah. But they leave you go.
Right? They let you go and stuff like that, guys. But this is one of the biggest things, guys. This is why I do this podcast. I love being able to bring a brother on, get to hang out with them for an hour and just enjoy the time together. Because why? Because when we get out of service, we lose that camaraderie, right? And the Marine Corps camaraderie is everything in the Marine Corps, right? Regardless if you hate that sorry SOB or you love them, you're there with them. You have that companionship. That companion is there with you, right? When we get out of active duty service, we don't know how to make friends, right? Our friends that when we're on active duty, those are our friends because we're all doing the same crap. We're all into the same thing. But then you get out, you're like, how do I make friends? How do I get to know people? How do I get to be inside the circle these people are in, right? And these are some of the things, guys, is that camaraderie is that we lose it and it sucks because we're like, man, I feel so alone. I don't have anybody here. I don't have nobody to talk to. But this is why I do this podcast because my circle keeps growing. It keeps getting bigger, keeps getting bigger, keeps getting bigger. And like I tell you guys, I connect people with people. Hey, you're doing this. I know somebody doing the exact same thing. Let me get you in contact with them. And hopefully it works out. Maybe you guys can collaborate, do something together. Be like, yeah, I tried this. This is what I did with this. When mine did that, I did this and it fixed it. See if that'll help you out. See if it'll work for you. Right. And that's one of the things, guys, is that we have got to build our circle. We have got to build our community on a daily basis, right? Who do I know that's into this, right? Like you guys know me, I'm the Stone Vet. You guys know Sanji's the Stone Vet. He talk about plant-based medicine. He talk about cannabis. He talk about mushrooms. He talk about all this stuff. But why? Because there's a lot of veterans who talk about plant-based medicines, right? Because they have an understanding of how this has been helping them. Like Michael tells you, he said mushrooms have been helping me a lot. Been helping me treat a lot of mental illness that I deal with, right? Yep. It's okay to talk about it, guys. It's okay to talk about your mental health. A lot of us in a lot of bad places, you know?
Yeah. There's another veteran program I belong to called BVN, Balanced Veterans Network. I've reached out to them when I was curious about mushrooms. If you get involved with them, they have a whole community down to DMT, mushrooms, what the hell is the other one? MDMA has shown benefits for people who are bipolar, MDMA, and there's another one I'm forgetting. But yeah, BVN is all about plant-based. It's a huge veteran community about plant-based medicine, plants over pills.
Yeah. Absolutely, guys. And this is one of the biggest things, guys, is understanding this, right? Like you guys that are listening on the show, take a minute to look at how many pills you're taking a day to treat your ailments, right? Anxiety, depression, freaking all the other crap we deal with, right? That we deal with since getting out of active duty service. Look at all your pills and think, do I have to take these the rest of my life? Or can I take something else to where it's not killing me internally, right? All those pills are killing you internally. They're doing damage to your liver, your intestines, your heart, your lungs. They're doing damage to you internally. And how long do you think your body can fight and heal from all the damage that's being done by these pharmaceuticals that you guys are ingesting? If you guys are scared to use plant-based medicine, reach out. Reach out to Michael. He'll sit down and talk with you. He'll let you know, hey, dude, this is what I've been using. I use this because this is how it makes me feel. reach out to me. I smoke weed every day, dude. Every day. I'm about to go downstairs and roll a blunt myself just so I can go smoke, right?
Yeah.
This is one of the things, guys. Like I said, for me, like I said, I was on a 2-year tolerance break. And now I think I'm to the point now I'm just like you. I smoke. I could be high for a little bit and then nothing, right? But during that time that I'm high, I'm able to breathe and just calm down.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of things get us agitated. A lot of things get us irritated, and we get angry, right? Our anger comes out. And to be able to sit there and be able to be like, okay, just breathe, dude. Just take a moment and reassess the situation.
Yeah.
Did you really need to blow up like that? And then go back and apologize if you did. Man up, dude. Man up and apologize. Call yourself out. Because you do that, people are going to look at you and be like, I think I can hang out with this dude because he's able to admit when he was wrong.
Yeah.
Right. That's one of the biggest things as veterans do. We hate to admit when we're wrong. We hate to admit when we're wrong, right? We hate. That's one of the things I hate. For myself, I hate it. I hate it when I'm wrong. I hate to admit when I'm wrong. But when you can stand up and admit that you were wrong, people are going to be like, okay, I think I can work with this guy, right? And that's our biggest things, guys, is just trying to build our community around us, understanding how can plant-based medicine help me? Like Michael said, BVN is a great network. I'm a part of that organization as well, and they're doing amazing things over there, dude. It's such a huge organization. Like you said, it's plants over pills, man. Yep. Understanding how to use these different plant-based medicines that have been around for thousands of years. Plant-based medicine has been around, dude. And if you guys listen to my episodes on Wednesdays, there's times they'll go back and tell you this is Chinese medicine. This is what the Chinese use to treat their anxiety, to treat pain management, to treat things, right? And that's one of the things, guys. When you use CBD to help replenish your endocannabinoid system, it helps heal your back, helps heal your knees, your neck, your shoulders, everything that we suffer from, all the pain we endured while serving on active duty service, right? Because we put our bodies through hell. There are times we put our bodies through hell, and we're just like, I don't know how I'm still getting up to run. I don't know how I'm still getting up to walk, Yeah. But it's things like this, and Michael here's part of the community now. He knows. He's like, dude, I use plant-based medicines regularly because it helps me deal with stuff, right? Like Michael said, he's dealing with a lot of stuff right now in his life. He's at a point in his life right now. He's like, golly, it's like everything's just hitting me, right?
Yeah, I'm out of work also for back surgery. I have a 4mm herniation on top of a 7mm herniation. So I'm surprised I'm still getting up and walking every day. And then I lost weight. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And it's things like that, guys. It's things like that, right? Like none of us are where we want to be, right? That's why I shoot this podcast and bring guests on the show to help share their story, right? Because there's people just like you that are dealing with the same crap you're dealing with. And if you didn't know that, you'd be like, nobody's going through the same crap I'm going through, right? No, dude. You'd be surprised how many people are going through the same crap that you're going through, right? And guess what? They were like, try this, dude. This is what I've been doing, right? I talked to a brother of mine the other day, and I was like, for me personally, right now, what I've been doing, I've been reading books. I just got done reading Never Finished by David Goggins. Great book. Got done finished that.
Mm-hmm.
I do my scripture that I do. I do a scripture that I've teamed up with my chiropractor. He's got me reading scripture. I'm doing a Bible study with my wife and my son and his girlfriend right now. And I'm going to the gym. I do a little 30-minute workout routine. And so I'm staying busy, keeping my mind busy so I can be like, how do I make myself better? How do I make myself a better individual, right? Mm-hmm. How do I make myself better for my friends and my family to be there for them, right? And that's one of the things we don't know how. As veterans, we don't know how to be there to help be that person that our family needs, right? We're always worried about us. We want to take care of us. We want to do us. We want to treat us, And whenever we get out of that whenever we can quit being selfish is when we grow, right? Because as a veteran, we're very selfish. We're only worried about us. We only want to take care of us, right? We only want to take care of us, and we're only worried about us. We don't really worry about anybody else around us, right? And that's how we ruin our relationships with our kids, with our significant others, with friends, because we only worry about us. We don't worry about what they're thinking. We don't worry about their feelings. We don't worry about their emotions, right? And it sucks, guys. It sucks, but this is one of the things we do. This is how we learn to grow, how to become better people in society, right? How to become better brothers and sisters for each other. Hey, I'm on the shitter. Hey, brother, I was thinking about you. What are you doing today, man? 5 minutes on the shitter, right? Just text them. Just thinking about you, brother. I want to make sure you're doing okay. And that's what we're supposed to be doing in our community, is reaching out to each other and letting them know, hey, dude, I'm just thinking about you today. I'm going to make sure you're doing okay. Because it means a lot when people do reach out. For me, if you guys reach out to me, I'm like, oh, wow, I'm doing okay, dude. How you guys doing today? You know? And it's great, man. So we're getting close to the end of the show, Michael. How do you want to leave the audience? What do you want to tell them? How do you want to motivate them?
Just reach out. There's always research out there to help you. If you're afraid of plant-based medicine, even Google's your best friend. That's what I did. Get a scale. If you're going to use mushrooms, my biggest advice is use a scale. You just can't tell otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So this is it, guys. We getting close. We're at the end of the show, man. I appreciate you guys really coming in and listening in. I know you guys, if you guys saw it, right? I went to the green screen, right? Why? Because the other app decided to crap itself and not want to work for me. So I'm here though, right? I'm here. We're listening. I got video for you guys on my YouTube channel. If you're listening over there on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Share this content, guys, because without you, I can't grow. I can't become bigger than Joe Rogan if you guys aren't sharing this content with everybody. It's time to break the stigma on plant-based medicine. The time is now. Our voices need to be heard. Us as the veteran community be like, I'm fighting for medical freedom. I need my medicine. I don't want to end up like Pennsylvania where all I can do is vaporize flour. There's no medicine in that.
Yeah.
There's no medicine in that. They're just saying, yeah, we'll play with you guys.
Help.
We'll play, right? We'll play with you guys. We'll say, here it is. It's legal, but you can only use it like this. If you live in a state and it's not legal yet, why? Don't wait for somebody to be the example. You set the example. You get up there and find out, what does it take to get cannabis on a ballot so the people can vote for legalization? What is it that I need to do? Talk to your representatives. If they don't want to talk to you, get some veterans together and go sit at their door until they will talk to you, because they have to talk to you. They work for you. You don't work for them. They work for you, and they need to hear your voices, man. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us today, enjoying this time together, being able just to feel like you got somebody there with you, right? Even like I tell you guys, even you guys don't even listen to content, just turn it on, dude, so you don't feel like you're alone, because there are days that I feel alone. So what do? I turn on my show so I can listen to my brother or sister, whoever I'm bringing on that week, so I can have it on in the background so I don't feel like I'm alone. Because one of the biggest struggles we have as veterans, we always feel like we're alone and there's nobody there for us. It's a lie. All my community that I bring on the show, they're there. They always say, reach out. I'll have all of Michael's content, how you can reach out to him, how you can email him, check him out, check out the amazing things he's doing. And he'll be able, he'll message you. He said it. He'll message you. Message him. He'll message you back and talk to you and bullshit with you, hang out with you, man. Because like I said, one of the biggest things we hate is that we always feel like we're alone. You're not. We're here for you on a daily basis, man. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, enjoying this time here with Michael, another Air Force veteran, just telling you plant-based medicine works. Check it out. See the amazing benefits that you can get from using plant-based medicines. Let's see if we can get you off the pharmaceuticals. Like I tell you guys, don't quit your pharmaceuticals because you started using cannabis. Incorporate cannabis into your pharmaceuticals and start learning how cannabis is helping you, and start weaning off of the pill one by one. Don't just quit them all at once, because it's going to make you sick and you're going to hate cannabis. You're going to say it's cannabis's fault. And in reality, it's your pharmaceuticals' fault. That's why you feel the way you feel. It's because of the pharmaceuticals that you've been on for so long, man. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Like I said, go check out my sponsor, Rafa180.com. That's Romeo Alpha Papa Hotel Alpha 180.com to get all your medicinal grade CBD needs. Go get some swag from the Stone Vet. I don't want to hear Ginger and David keep telling me nobody's buying anything. Nobody's buying anything. It's still cold outside. Hell, they just told us we're going to get some snow here before too long again this week. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, dude. So get you some hoodie. This is a nice thick hoodie. You can wear this hoodie and a jacket over and you'll be good forever, dude. I'm telling you, it's amazing, man. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Like I said, don't forget to freaking share this content and get it out there, man. Remember, you are appreciated. If you're going to smoke, smoke responsibly. Smoke within your legal limit in your state, I guess, if that's how it's going to be. Don't get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you guys. I love every one of you and every one of you listening in and support me, man. Remember, guys, here at the Stone Vet, we got your six.
That means I got your back, but what else would you expect? Coming from the Stone Vet. 1, 2, 3, 4 from my country, I go hardcore. Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Marine Corps. The Stone Vet, the Stone Vet.